What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today, BCH USD. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. It is the 22nd day of January. Here we are sitting at about $593 with roughly 9 hours, 52 minutes left in the day. Shout out to the Dragon Riders and the House of the Dragon. Here we are, moving up a little bit. What I will say, and just a point of concern that I have right now, is that today we're up. We're up 1.5%. That's concerning to me because we don't have a single wick to the downside at all. There's still 9 hours, 52 minutes left in the day. It's superstition. It's not actual analysis, but still, I mean, just think about it, right? How many of these green candles, even with a small wick, have at least some kind of wick? Like it's very rare to see a candle where there's no wick below. It's not that it doesn't happen. It's not that it can't bode well for the price, But even a little bit of a wick, statistically speaking, they all have some kind of a wick. And then you look at these red days that have big wicks to the upside. They were green like this up until the final hours, and they came back down. I'm just saying, whenever I see a day like this without any wick to the downside, I'm just like, please get us to candle close. I mean, the last time we had a day like this was over here, and that did not bode well over the coming days, right? So let's look at the short-term stuff and see what's going on, if we can expect lower prices or higher prices. Of course, even if we do go lower, I would assume we're at our low area. Like, we're not going to go terribly lower, right? It's not going to be a very significant move. It's very possible, even if we move lower from here, that we get a higher low or a slightly lower low, whatever. But we should be on the path to recovery very, very soon. If not, I mean, just right now, we could be moving up. So let's look at the 1 hour time frame and then zoom out from there, okay? 1 hour, looking at this. Not a lot of volume. Normally if you're building in price and your volume's decaying, that's not good. And we're kind of building in price and we're kind of decaying in volume. But I think this actually is a good look because we have this flat base, flat top, I should say. It's very like flat. It's not perfectly flat. There's a slight tilt to it, but it's pretty damn flat with ascending lows going into it, right? The fact that there's no volume here tells me that we're about to break out. We're in this like pattern. We're about to break out one way or the other. We're clinging to the top end. It gives me a little bit of hope that we might break out to the upside, but we'll see. Might be breaking out to the downside right now even. A little bit of a gap there though. 1 hour time frame, looking at the RSI, we are in a bullish posturing overall. Somewhat neutral here, but overall very bullish. So I'm gonna lean to the upside with that. Bouncing off the 50 is not a problem. That's actually a good thing. We do have lower lows in the RSI right here, low, lower low there, and you have low, higher low in the price. That's hidden bullish divergence. Very low volume. Stock market's about to open up. We're going to see if we open up with a bullish start. The stochastics have reset back to the 50. It's the perfect area to bounce from. You bounced there last time. You've bounced here before a couple times. It's pretty common to do. The MACD overall is bullish. I don't like that we've crossed red here on the 1 hour time frame, but we do have 49 minutes left in this hour. The stock market opens up in about 20 minutes, so if we get a little pump from that, this should save the cross. And if it does cross red, if we do break out to the downside again, maybe we do move down. Maybe we move down 20 bucks. Maybe we move down 50 bucks. I don't know, but we're probably not going to move down more than that, and we're probably not going to move down for too long. And we'll come back up in a very short amount of time. Any time spent below this low or this low, if it even happens, it's going to be very, very short-lived, right? Very, very, very short-lived. But I'm calling for the upside right now. 4 hour time frame here. Stochastics are bullish. The MACD looks like it's about to cross above the zero. We have 1 hour and 48 minutes left in this 4 hour time frame. Let's see how it goes. With that hour and 48 minutes left, the stock market open, if this next hour goes the way I hope it does, we'll be moving up. That would be a nice finish, and maybe we start to build more bullish momentum here and really get that cross above the zero either today or tomorrow. That could really send prices higher in a very short amount of time. Or if we do reject from here, if we are finding resistance again, maybe we come down, we retest, find a higher low, find a lower low, whatever, and then we can try again later. Let's talk about the downside real quick while we're on this kind of note. If we were to go down, you've hit the 236, come down to the 382, you closed below the 382 one day and then closed above it the next day. How I do analysis, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but typically when you see this signal, that's actually a very bullish reversal signal. That should send prices higher immediately. Okay. Typically it is. If you close below the 382, which you did here on this day, if you close below the 382, that's very condemning to the 0.5 or the golden ratio zone, and that's why we were heavily talking about this. But what we did yesterday, and I was very strongly considering 553 to 510 to be the target zone, and maybe we still go down there. Maybe that is still the area that we inevitably go down to. But yesterday we closed above the 382 after previously closing below. This contests the idea, right? From here on the 20th, the statistical probability of going down here was really good. Like 80% chance, 70% chance, pretty damn high. That close that we got yesterday diminishes that chance. It's like less than 50% chance now. You know what I mean? Like it diminishes it so much. The greater chance right now is that we move up. And even this, it's not like an 80% chance that we move up from here. It's not an 80% chance that we get a reversal, but this is typically a signal that I have identified and seen in my 10 years of doing technical analysis, that we typically do get a reversal. Onyx coin had something like this recently, and it did not reverse. It went lower still. So it's not perfect. Nothing is. But just understand right here, I can actually show you an example. Let's just go to Onyx coin real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Because we got really excited on Onyx coin for this exact same reason, and it didn't work out, unfortunately. Low to high, you closed below the 382. The next day you closed above it with a surge. We were expecting good things to come. It still flopped down to the golden ratio, but hey, you found support there, and now you're moving up. You know what I mean? It's the same thing here. If I'm wrong and we don't get this move, if this is a false signal, that'd be really weird, because then it's like 2 times in a row that I've called for that and it hasn't worked out. But if it is a false signal, cool. We'll go down to the golden ratio, find support, or the 0.5, or somewhere in between and find support, and it'll all be fine. We'll sing Kumbaya in a very short amount of time. I don't think we're going to get that. That's not the call. The call for me is not this. The call for me is that we are moving up from here, that this is a reversal signal, that we're putting in a low and we should be moving up, but anything can happen, right? 4-hour time frame. Looking at this, RSI to me looks positive. I mean, overall, you're coming out of a slump, a little bit of a slump, but you're breaking out of this lower high trend. If we kind of try to fit it a little bit better, maybe, it looks like you're breaking out of your downtrend. I mean, think about how long you were below the 50. This level here was providing resistance. You were just being held down below it. Now you're holding up as support. That's a good shift. And you've got higher highs. I don't know. It's a good shift there. We get into this overbought zone, that could really propel us to higher prices. Stochastics look bullish, and the MACD, I gotta say, I'm bullish on the MACD right here as well. Again, if this 4-hour time frame in the next hour and 45 minutes can pump up a little bit, if we can move up a little bit, this should turn green, darker green, and that would be really good. We don't want the pale green at the close. We want the dark green, right? This is pale. This is dark. We want the dark green. We want to be building bullish momentum, especially as our oscillators are approaching this 0 level here. We want to get that. You see the 0 right there? We want to cross both these lines above the 0 as soon as possible, because the sooner that happens, the sooner that we're breaking out, we're moving up higher, we're validating this area as a low. And we do validate this as a low if and when, like this low here at 562 will be a validated low. I would say when we close on a daily basis above $636. And maybe even a little bit below there. Maybe even, I would even go as far as saying like $630. Because then you're closing above this low closing point, you're closing above these high closing points. I think that would be a certifiable low at about 630. But if you want to go by the golden ratio rule, 636, 637, close above there. Closing prices, not wicking prices, right? We could wick all the way up here. One day we could wick up here and then close down here. That would actually be a really bad signal. So getting up here is not enough. We need to close up here and higher, ideally. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. And again, the reason why we want to do that is to validate this as a low. I don't have anything else that I want to say. I've gone over everything I think that I need to that's relevant. This week here, we look at this on a 3-day time frame, or we've got, 3 days, 10 hours left in this week. It's probably closer to like 3 days and 9 hours left. We have a nice reversal. This is a really nice setup here. It's looking like a good week. If we can finish strong, if today is even like a neutral day, but slightly to the upside, let alone if it's a good day, I would think that the rest of the week will probably be good, and we will close this week out with a green candle, much like what we're seeing here, or maybe even pushed up a little bit higher. Either way, that'd be a very nice bottoming signal and should be telling us that we are ready to be breaking out of this zone overall very, very soon. I think it's abundantly clear. I think it's obvious. It feels like this chart is screaming at me. It's screaming at all of us saying, hey man, something big is coming right now. We are literally going to go from 594 to thousands of dollars in the next month. That's what I'm seeing happen here. But time will tell. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. The ultimate expectation for me for Bitcoin Cash, well, the ultimate expectation is we're going to see Bitcoin Cash be worth millions of dollars at some point. That's the ultimate expectation. The ultimate expectation for this move, this breakout move, for me would be something around $2,700 to $4,300, likely somewhere in between. I'm thinking we do break above 3,000. I don't think we break above 4,000, but if we do break above $4,000, there's a chance that we could go as high as like 5,500 or maybe even just above there. I think we'll go to $3,600, something right around there. That's my expectation, but something above 2,700, below 6,000, something in that area. That's what I'm thinking personally. And I think this is where we're going to go ultimately after breaking out of this lifelong historical consolidation phase here, after breaking out of this 1.5 year long consolidation phase here. That's where this move is going to propel us to. And all of this should happen. I think that we will be here either by the end of February or probably sometime in March. That's my guess. I'll see you on the next one. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all. We're going to kick the move off soon. Like the move's going to kick off either before February starts or in February. The move will kick off, but we just won't have our end result, I think, until maybe the end of February or sometime in March. It could be April. It could take longer. This consolidation has lasted a long time. What's another month between friends? But I digress. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.